I think 7th grade was the year the concept of fat and skinny were first introduced into my life. Somewhere between then and my freshman year of college, calories became one of the most emphasized words in my inner dialogue, and it snowballed into an obsession. The dieting, the guilt, there are a million variations of the story. It doesn't matter how it happened. It matters why. I lost 15 pounds before I came to college. Yay, go me. What's weird is I never stopped looking at myself the way I did when I was heavier. I looked in the mirror and my eyes still went straight to that spot. I clenched my tummy roll of flub between two harsh clenched fingers. I became so scared of gaining back the weight that I no longer dieted with a goal in mind. I dieted out of fear. The lighter I became, the more fearful I became of gaining back the weight, of losing all that hard work. So I gripped tighter. I spent years of my life convinced it was normal to hate myself for eating a second piece of cake, or to entertain thoughts of bulimia, or to drag my exhausted body to the gym at 11 p.m. to run 8 miles as a punishment for the number on the scale. What worries me is that at an institution like Duke, where the student body is full of perfectionists, there is no concept of when it becomes a problem. It is normal to obsess. But now that I know where the boundary is, I realize how unhealthy the norm is. The real issue is that in our heads, the word disorder only applies to the utmost extremes, like eating only lettuce, or throwing up, or resembling Skeletor. If there is no way of outwardly proving we have a disorder, we don't have to admit it to ourselves, and the torture endures. It wasn't until my best friend started talking about her disorder that I became aware of my own. She shut the door to her room and said, "I see behaviors in you that are far too similar to my own." I turned my head in embarrassment, refusing to believe that she could possibly be worried about me. She grabbed my hand and looked me dead in the eye. "I know the battle that you fight in your head when you feel powerless to food. These thoughts are not you. You are too beautiful a person to let these thoughts become you." It took me 3 months to admit to myself that she was right. But she started my train of thought. I realized that I could never be entirely present in a moment when all I could think about was the fact that I was starving. I realized that my quality of life decreased every minute I let the guilt of missing gym time or eating a goddamn cookie occupy my mind for the entire day. I realized that unhealthy thoughts alone are enough to constitute a disorder. They were putting me at war with myself, making me my own worst critic. It wasn't until I admitted I had a problem and began to make peace within my thoughts that I realized the extent to which they were keeping me from loving myself.